My name is Jonathan Dunlap, and this is my trend analysis report for our EDU 723 Contemporary Issues class. The trends that I am going to be covering are teachers and collective bargaining, digital learning and technology, and charters, vouchers, and choice. The first issue that I want to discuss is collective bargaining. Collective bargaining with teachers has taken center stage in many states as part of this larger political battle over state budgets and funding. It's become a real hot button political issue. This is an issue that is largely centered on teachers' unions and their effects on education and state budgets. In the PDK polling, 50% of respondents believe that teachers' unions hurt schools, while 25% suggested that unions helped education. So, and this was an even greater disparity depending upon one's political affiliation. Obviously, a very charged situation. What these statistics represent is a reflection of majority beliefs that teachers should be paid based upon a variety of factors, with the two that receive the most support being the level of academic degree possessed by the teacher and the principal's evaluations, which were represented at 89 and 87% respectively. Further, the majority of respondents felt that teachers' layoffs should be based primarily upon principal evaluations rather than seniority. So, looking at all of these different results, one of the other ones being that Americans do still tend to support collective bargaining on a political level, as evidenced by the recent victory against these reforms in Ohio. Americans still support these things, but these other opinions, I think, should be a warning to teachers' unions and about collective bargaining. The the public still seems to support them overall, but they are looking for greater evaluation, new means of improving schools that have previously been resisted by teachers unions. And so this creates a unique opportunity for schools, and it means a change in the way that they do business. In looking at this situation and considering PA Cyber, I believe PA Cyber faces a danger because it too could become one of the targets of funding cuts. That is, been one of the keys to bringing about a lot of these issues with collective bargaining. In light of that, though, PA Cyber does have a significant opportunity to continue to be a great example of the lower cost alternative that can be represented by charter schools, particularly cyber charter schools. They have, with such a great deal of concern being on, how much money is available even to spend on education. PA Cyber presents an alternative that has been tried and has been tested and is proving effective and will continue to prove effective into the future. And really, this is not an opportunity only for PA Cyber to grow numerically, but really it's an opportunity for them to be kind of the city set on the hill, so to speak, in terms of educational opportunity for schools. And finally, my recommendation was that PA Cyber should continue to fully implement its instructional staff evaluation. This will take a step to ensure that PA Cyber is delivering quality service and education to its students and its families, and it will demonstrate the effectiveness of this alternative approach as it continues to self-improve and self-regulate. The second trend that I'm discussing is digital learning and technology. As digital devices have become more pervasive in society and the workforce, there has been a push for educators to ensure access to the internet and opportunities to use current digital technologies in the classroom. This push for greater use of technology comes as a means to ensure the personalization of education and to help better prepare students for the modern workplace where they must be fluent in technologies. This was one of the major reasons that Americans supported the use of increase in technology in schools. The PDK poll reported that 96% of Americans thought that schools should use more technologies as a means to prepare students for college and or careers. Further, the PDK polling data showed that 91% of respondents stated that schools should ensure that all students have access to the internet while at school. In recognition of the realities of modern life, two-thirds of respondents thought that schools should provide high school students an e-reader. Further, the study showed that over half of Americans believe that quality instruction online is better than mediocre face-to-face instruction. Overall, what this means for the educational world is that perception is moving away from seeing the traditional means as superior and are looking more at the quality of results and are more willing to look for alternatives if they find that they will deliver those results they're looking for. Overall, this trend poses a threat to PA Cyber because it's fueled by a desire for results and the search for the most cutting edge technology and methods. If PA Cyber ceases to deliver these results in terms of state test scores, graduation rates, and student and parent satisfaction, then it will fall by the wayside. One of the unorthodox threats that I think comes to PA Cyber in this particular area is complacency. Dr. Trombetta, our CEO, has spoken repeatedly in the recent past about the need to continue being cutting edge because more and more schools are getting it. They're implementing more digital learning and technologies. If we do not continue to improve as a school, then we can be caught and passed as an organization. For PA Cyber, though, this is an opportunity to draw in more students through further technological innovation. PA Cyber, while it can be possibly a threat, PA Cyber, its advantage is that it already is cutting edge as a digital school currently. And so that allows it to attract new students, and it positions us in a place of strength as we move forward. Overall, for PA Cyber, the recommendation should be to push on with implementation of new technologies like the iPads with students. There have been many other areas as well where PA Cyber is growing with the implementation of digital learning and technology, one example being this program itself. The inclusion of these programs and pressing them forward will give PA Cyber an edge in the future in delivering digital learning and technology to students. My last trend that I'm discussing is charters, vouchers, and choice. Since education has come to be seen as the next great civil rights issue, school choice has become an important and growing trend. Really, the school choice movement is a reaction to the monopolies that were held by public schools for decades. The public school system has come to be identified by abuses within the system and ineptitude at meeting the needs of students. Many families have felt hopeless in the face of failing schools when they have not had the monetary means to move into a more affluent and successful district. The growth of an economy that demands an educated and thinking workforce has made education an issue that must be addressed by society at large. In the face of this enormous challenge, charter schools have come to the forefront because, freed of many of the onerous burdens placed on schools by state regulation and teachers' union contracts, these schools are able to offer a more flexible education delivered by motivated and supported staff members. These charter schools are able to adopt more strict and innovative methods to meet the needs of a very diverse population. They have continued to grow in prominence and support because they do not accept a one-size-fits-all approach to students, but rather specialize to meet the needs of students in a particular geographic or content area. The PDK survey results demonstrated that a strong majority of Americans support charter schools and being able to attend a different public school outside your district. 70% of Americans specifically supported charter schools, while 74% of Americans supported parents choosing which public school to attend in their community. What this means for schools is that they need to be innovative in their content and methodology to attract and keep students in their districts, because families are much less stuck in what they used to be. They have opportunities to move to charter schools or other public schools. And for PA Cyber, this means that they need to continue to ensure that the education offered by PA Cyber sets them apart from traditional schools so that they can continue to be a real choice for families. One of the threats that's posed to PA Cyber by this is that as the school gets larger, there is a natural impulse to become more bureaucratic and less personal. What this would mean is a loss of what attracted those of families initially away from the traditional schools. It is important for PA Cyber to remember that we are not like a brick-and-mortar school, nor should we want to be. However, though, this does present PA Cyber with an opportunity to be at the forefront of the charter school movement, because merely by the fact that we exist and that we are as large as we are represents how unsatisfied parents are with traditional public schooling. For PA Cyber to exist, this has to be true. This presents PA Cyber with an opportunity to continue to grow numerically to meet the needs of more and more students. It also presents PA Cyber with an opportunity to rise as a standard bearer for school choice, to engage with stakeholders in the state and local governments to continue to preserve this choice for families. This is also an opportunity for PA Cyber to grow its face-to-face programs, because students and families want options, and the more options that can be provided, the more effective the school will be. I think that PA Cyber needs to continue to push forward with its current plans to expand its physical presence into more communities in Pennsylvania over the next year. Also, I would recommend that PA Cyber go through an internal review process that looks at each level of the organization to evaluate what the duties are and what the duties should be of each position at that level. I believe also this review panel should be made up of stakeholders from each part of the organization. And this process also must include, we'll say, a parent report card from the families so that we can see how we are perceived by those outside of us, because those are essentially the customers. In conclusion, the response to trends at PA Cyber and really at all schools is an ongoing process. And that seems like an obvious statement, but it's an ongoing process that requires something that's rather unique and unfortunately rare. It requires flexibility and determination on the part of the administration and the staff of the school to look into the future, to see the challenges that are coming, and to formulate adequate or above adequate responses to them. The statistics that were presented in this presentation come from the Phi Delta Kappa Gallup 2011 poll on American views of education.